Juan Pablo Montoya has warned that Red Bull Racing could be a midfield team next season and that Max Verstappen should seriously consider his options for the new era of Formula One power units. The seven-time Grand Prix winner does not trust Red Bull's in-house engine next year will be an instant contender and advises Verstappen to start looking at other teams sooner rather than later. Well, an interesting story here on a Monday, but either way, we thank you for being with us here on the GPFans Global channel. We do this every week, so if you like what you see, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below and hit the like as well if you can. Verstappen currently sits third in the standings, 12 points behind championship leader Oscar Piastri, who's won 3 of the first 5 Grand Prix. This week marks the 1-year anniversary of last year's Miami Grand Prix, when it was first deemed that Red Bull were no longer the quickest car on the grid, and things have not taken a positive turn for the Milton Keynes-based side since then. In 2026, Red Bull will start producing its own power units, and Verstappen has already said himself he doesn't expect it to be great from the off. Montoya goes a bit deeper than that. Quote, if Red Bull become a midfielder next year, Max has to ask himself if he wants to stay with the team. They have an engine power unit for next year that nobody knows how good it is at this point. Red Bull next year could be running where Williams is running. Mark Hughes of The Race believes Lewis Hamilton's current performances at Ferrari are, quote, terrible and, quote, not sustainable, adding that this is the low point of Hamilton's Formula One career so far. Hamilton has not shot out of the blocks at Ferrari, only once finishing inside of the top 5 in a Grand Prix. He did, of course, win the sprint race in China, but performances overall have been far off his teammate Charles Leclerc, who has been at Ferrari since 2019. On the Race's podcast, Hughes was asked how he would rate Hamilton's season so far, and the veteran journalist did not hold back. Quote, terrible. You can't be half a second off your teammate, which seems to be the pattern. Aside from the China anomaly, he's been so far off the pace, it makes for uncomfortable viewing when he's asked about it post-race, post-qualifying. He just has no answers. I'd say this is definitely the low point of his career. It's worse than the difficulties that he's faced in the last 3 years at Mercedes. It's just not sustainable, especially for someone of Lewis' profile. Formula One is back this week as we go stateside for the Miami Grand Prix. It's a sprint weekend, remember, so with all of that in mind, let's check out the full schedule for this weekend's action. The first and only free practice session at the Miami International Autodrome is on Friday, and it starts at 5:30 p.m. UK time or 12:30 p.m. local time in Miami. Sprint qualifying is next, starting at 9:30 p.m. in the UK or 4:30 p.m. Eastern. On Saturday, the action starts with the sprint race, which is at 5 p.m. in the UK or at noon on the East Coast in the US, followed by qualifying for the Grand Prix, which starts at 9 p.m. UK time or 4 p.m. Eastern. On May 4th, the Miami Grand Prix takes place at 9 p.m. on Sunday evening in the UK or at 4 p.m. Eastern if you're in the US. Well, that's it from me for today. I'll be back tomorrow for the next one. I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.